Golden Rules of Freedom. Number 1. The purpose of the Golden Rules of Freedom is to establish a series of rules which are to be obeyed. They are not negotiable. They are not there for discussion. They are not there for the purposes of, well, perhaps I'll apply them, perhaps I will not. If you're serious about ensuring that you remove yourself from the toxic influences of the relevant narcissist or narcissist that you have had an involvement with or are currently involved with, you need to obey these first golden rules. The golden rules of freedom will explain to you very clearly certain concepts that you must abide by. By grasping, accepting, and implementing these rules, you will succeed. If you don't, if you reject them, if you debate them, if you apply them intermittently, freedom will not be achieved. You will fall prey to the hoovering of the narcissist. You will fall prey to emotional thinking, drawing you back in some shape or form to continue the interaction with the narcissist, resulting in you potentially giving us fuel, causing us to win, resulting in you suffering an adverse consequence, resulting in more emotional thinking, keeping you stuck for longer, resulting in you experiencing certain sensations, fear, anger, anxiety, irritation, distress, hurt, upset, so that those sensations last longer, paralyzing you, keeping you stuck, spoiling your lives, preventing you from enjoying aspects, destroying your relationships, affecting your health both physically and mentally. This set of rules have been devised by me to tell you entirely to the point and straight what the rules are to achieve freedom. As you know with my work, I don't pull punches. I'm not here to soften the blow. You need to know, and you need to be slapped about the face with the frozen cod of logic in order to ensure that you wake up. Many of you are very intelligent individuals. You must be. You're listening to my work. But more than that, you know in yourself that you're intelligent. Yet here you are, ensnared by a narcissist, or recently ensnared, doing okey-cokey as you're an intimate partner secondary source with the narcissist, caught in not wanting to leave the narcissist for fear that somebody else might somehow crack the code to make everything all right with them, feeling that you can't go because you let down the family unit, feeling that you can't go as a consequence of what might happen next. To dispel this fear and to achieve freedom, you need to obey these golden rules. These golden rules form the foundation of your logic defenses. You have 2 battles ahead of you, keeping us away from you and keeping yourself away from us, and invariably that second battle is often the harder one. These golden rules have been devised to assist you with to-the-point, direct, and no-punches-pulled information. As you know, I have no emotional empathy. I have cognitive empathy, but even then, I will be placing it to one side to deliver to you a direct, blunt, and honest and brutal message as to what you must do, what you must take notice of, and what you must apply. The first golden rule of freedom is, when you know, you go. First of all, how do you know? How do you know that you are dealing with a narcissist? Well, you may well have utilized my material. Somebody has mentioned my work to you, or the work of somebody else. Not that, of course, that you should be going there. You must stay loyal to dear HG here. It might be that you were searching on the internet, why does he sulk? Or why does he go missing? Why does he ghost me? Why does he sometimes erupt over nothing? Why does she blow hot and cold with me? Why is she sometimes really into me and then other times can't be found? Why does she pick me up and put me down at her convenience? Well, there are a whole host of actions, phrases, interactions that occur that have you scrambling for answers. And then you happen upon this word, narcissist. And you read and you listen, and it starts to make more and more sense. Dependent, of course, where you take your information from, you probably won't get the full picture, and you may also be given certain incorrect information about narcissism. But you start to address some of the fundamentals, and of course, the full picture is provided when you access my work. You start to go down the rabbit hole, learning more about narcissists and narcissism, becoming all the more shocked at what you found yourself involved in, but feeling a growing sense of validation. Yes, that's exactly what happened to me. That happened too. And yes, so that's why that happened. And you increase your knowledge. But have you yet gone? And do you know what the actual going is? For all of the reading that you might do, for all of the listening that you are occasioned to indulge in, you may still be actually involved with the narcissist. You may still be in the relationship, or even if the relationship has ended, you may still be involved in some kind of interaction, which means that you actually haven't gone. You remain involved, interacting, ensnared still. The principle of once you know, you go means that once you have fixed with the knowledge that you're dealing with a narcissist, no excuses, you get out and you stay out. You apply go-so. When you know, you go. When you know that you are entangled with a narcissist, you go. You do not wait around seeking answers from that person. Get the answers from me instead. You do not try to heal them. You do not remain trying to decipher their behaviour. I will decipher the behaviour for you. You certainly do not remain to create fresh problems that you need to think about and interpret. When you know that a narcissist is trying to seduce you, you go. When you know that a narcissist is hoovering you, you go. But most of all, when you are already entangled and you finally learn what it is that you're entangled with, you go. You must remove yourself from the toxic influence, which is maintaining your emotional thinking, feeding that addiction and keeping you stuck. All aided and abetted by that narcissist in residence, the emotional thinking. The most effective way for you to know is to utilize the narc detector consultation. In many instances, you will feel assured that you've got it right, that you're dealing with a narcissist. Well done. Well done for applying the information and reaching that point of recognition. In other instances, you're less certain. That may well be because you struggle to interpret the information, but more usually it's the presence of your emotional thinking stopping you from truly accepting, but HG, what if he isn't a narcissist? What if I've got it wrong? Well, that is why the narc detector exists. I, as an objective, dispassionate expert, using the evidence, make the determination. And if they're not, you'll be told why they're not a narcissist. I'm not here to blow smoke up your bottom. I'm here to give you the right answers. Where the individual is, you will have it determined by me, the expert, objective, on the evidence, and you'll also be told which type of narcissist that you are dealing with. This is a very powerful tool because you land the first blow of logic against your emotional thinking by knowing I am dealing with a narcissist. This forms the foundation of your no-contact regime. Your foundation of your no-contact regime because you are going to build a tower, tall, mighty, unassailable, a tower of no contact. And if the foundation is weak, misplaced, not level, that tower will come crashing down and you will be sucked back into the involvement with the narcissist. The foundation must be right, and therefore that is why you must form it from the narc detector, the knowledge that you're dealing with that narcissist, to give you reassurance as to what you're dealing with, the confirmation that you were right, that what you thought was the case is indeed the case. You suspect there's something wrong with your leg and you think that you've sprained a muscle, but you're not sure. You go to the expert, you go to the doctor and get confirmation. And that way, that eases your concerns and gives you the right information on which you can then make an informed decision as to what you do next. And that informed decision is that you apply go-so. No excuses, no delays, no caveats. You get out and you stay out. because that is the only way that you will achieve freedom. In certain instances, you may need to do some planning, of course, find somewhere to live, sort out arrangements with regard to money, children, etc. But that should be done promptly and swiftly. In my book, Getting Out, provides you with information and assistance and practical tips in that regard. At the point that you learn that you're dealing with a narcissist, your emotional thinking can be in only one place, extremely high. That is because you have been in all of the 5 arenas of interaction, which has meant that your emotional thinking has been fed on a daily basis, and therefore is high. And that high emotional thinking is going to try and stop you from implementing GoSo. I can't go. I've nowhere to live. I can't go. What will I do for money? I can't go. I feel guilty for leaving him or her. I can't go. What about the children? I can't go. I work with this person. I can't go. This person is my mother. I can't go. I have to co-parent with this individual. I can't go. What if something worse happens? There are answers to all of those situations. Some are easier than others, and admittedly, the path to achieving that total no contact is not often an easy one, but it is actually easier than you realise. Your emotional thinking starts throwing all of the excuses, the reasons, the diversions, the deflections to prevent you from doing it. A common one is this: change your telephone number. So often people say to me, but I can't. And I ask, why? But I can't, comes the answer. For some, well, it's my business number. Okay, there are steps that might need to be taken to address that. Or, I've had the number a long time, everybody knows it. Well, popular as you may well be, I doubt that you know 8,000 people who all need to be notified as to change of number. Change it, and an hour or two spent sending the number to everybody else that needs to receive it is a sacrifice of your time that's well worth it for securing that aspect of your no-contact regime. But there are some individuals who don't even offer those reasons. They say, I just can't. And I ask, have you lost the use of your fingers? No. You can ring your provider and change your number. It's your emotional thinking that's trying to stop you doing it, because it makes you think that there's too much finality, that you want the narcissist, you want to hear the narcissist, you want to have the narcissist contact you to tell you that you matter. But that is illogical, and it breaches the first golden rule of freedom. You're not going. You are remaining involved with the narcissist, and you are keeping a conduit open between you and the narcissist. When you know that you are dealing with a narcissist, you must go. You must implement that total no-contact regime across the 5 arenas of interaction. I will help you with that. So often people say to me, HG, I'm in no contact, but he keeps texting me. How do I make it stop? And they honestly think they're in no contact. That is not no contact. People say, HG, why has she placed these pictures upon her Instagram page? What does all that mean? And they think they're in no contact. If you're snooping around looking at the social media of the narcissist, you are not in no contact. I'm keeping the electronic route open so the narcissist doesn't come round and see me in person. That is disobeying the first golden rule of freedom. You have not gone. You are remaining involved. You think that that's an appropriate reason, but it's flawed logic, it is not. And for every reason that you come up with to explain why you have not implemented no contact, I will not only be able to explain to you why that is a poor reason, but I'll give you 5 other reasons why you really must implement that no contact regime. That is logic. Emotional thinking doesn't want you obeying this first golden rule of freedom. Emotional thinking doesn't want you complying with it, because then you will starve your addiction. And the addiction does not want that to occur. This is the most important golden rule of freedom. It is an absolute that you know and then you go. It might be for a limited period of time. You cannot achieve a total no-contact regime. And there are some legitimate exceptions, but they're very few indeed. And even then, you'd be surprised. For example, children is a common one, a co-parenting situation. You'll be surprised, actually, how often you can get to a total no-contact regime, even where you have children. And even if that is not obtained, you can get very, very close to it, far closer than you might imagine. Your emotional thinking again, and a lack of understanding about narcissism and narcissists preventing you from implementing the things that you need to implement. I will give you that expertise. I will give you the inside information from the way that my kind think and operate, to plug the holes in your no-contact regime, to cause you to think of the things that you ought to do. People fail at no contact for two fundamental reasons. One, they don't actually understand what it means, because it's far wider than you'd realise. And two, the presence of emotional thinking, trying to undermine it from within, and again, something that not many people understand and realise to begin with. Take this first golden rule of freedom. Listen to this video repeatedly to ensure that you understand that you must implement. When you know that you're dealing with a narcissist, you must go. You get out and you stay out. Utilise my expertise to help you obey the first golden rule of freedom. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.